There's something about a Seiko 5 Sports, the sizing, the weight and the movement, it just works. This series has been a go-to for years, with enough detail to keep things interesting. And if you've been eyeing a Seiko but aren't sure where to start, this lineup's a great way to get in. So today we're taking a look at some of the best Seiko 5 Sports models you can get under $500. Let's find the one that fits your wrist best. If you've ever thought, what if Seiko gave the old SKX a travel-ready upgrade? This is it. The SSK023 brings that familiar diver feel, but adds a proper GMT function on top. The blue and black bezel splits the hours cleanly, and that red GMT hand pops just enough without trying too hard. And it's not just for looks. The bezel's hardlex insert adds durability, which matters when you're wearing it daily. The loom, super solid, just like we expect from Seiko. It runs on the 4R34 automatic movement, giving you about 41 hours of reserve, plus hacking and hand winding. The bracelet has that classic 5-link structure with polished mids, so it still feels like a nod to the original SKX. It's not slim at 13.6mm thick, but it wears balanced. For $475, this gives you a reliable GMT with that Seiko soul still intact. Let's say you like the idea of a GMT, but dive bezels and flashy colours aren't really your thing. Well, that's where the SSK023 comes in. This is Seiko's first field model with a GMT, and it fits the part. Everything's blacked out and clean, with a sharp red hand that gives you that second time zone without crowding the dial. It feels more like a purpose-built travel tool than a weekend flex. Inside, it's still rocking the 4R34 auto movement, same as the SKX-style GMTS, with a 41-hour reserve. The case leans toward that field watch simplicity. No rotating bezel, just clean lines and solid water resistance at 100 meters. At $435, it's a smart pick if you want function first, with a dial that won't scream for attention every time you check the time. Have you ever looked at a dial and thought, that colour's going to grow on me fast? Yeah, that's the SRPD61. It's got this deep teal shade that's easy on the eyes but far from boring. Pair it with the brushed steel case and matching bracelet, and you've got a casual diver that looks way more expensive than it is. This one runs the 4R36 movement, so you get hand winding, hacking, and that day-date combo we all love in daily watches. Its bezel's unidirectional. The loom is classic Seiko, bright and long-lasting, and you've got 100 meters of water resistance for everyday use. The size feels familiar at 42.5mm, and while it's a little hefty at 170 grams, it wears just right. At $325, this is one of those under-the-radar picks that quietly earns its spot in the box. Say you're into that bold diver look, but still want something you can pull off with a button down. Well, the SRPK97 walks that line nicely. It pulls from the SNZH series, which longtime Seiko fans will remember, but gives it a modern cleanup. The sunray blue dial looks sharp without being flashy, and the navy bezel with hardlex insert adds a bit of gloss without overdoing it. You're still getting the 4R36 automatic movement here, same 24 jewels, and a solid 41-hour reserve. The size leans into Seiko 5 comfort, 42.5mm wide, slightly over 14mm thick, so it's got some presence but won't wear huge. And with 100 meters of water resistance, you're covered for daily wear. It's got the see-through back, brushed steel case, and a tri-fold clasp that actually feels secure. For $385, this gives you vintage energy, reliable specs, and a dial that looks better the longer you stare at it. Ever wanted a pilot-style watch that doesn't look like it's stuck in a history book? That's what the SRPH29 does well. It brings that throwback aviation vibe but mixes in a bit of colour, like the orange-tipped second hand and that matching orange lining under the green nylon strap. It's just enough contrast to make it feel current. The green dial stays legible with big luminous hands and a 60-minute track marked every 5 minutes, which keeps the layout tidy. Inside it runs the 4R36 automatic movement, 24 jewels, And yes, hand winding is there if you want to top it off. The 39.4mm case keeps the size wearable for pretty much anyone, and the Hardlex crystal holds up just fine for everyday bumps. Water resistance is a comfortable 100 meters. So for $295, this is a fun, durable field piece with personality. This one's for those who like their watches simple, rugged, and straight to the point. The SRPG35 leans into that field watch identity hard, with a black dial, beige numerals, and lume that feels like it belongs out in the woods. It runs the same trusted 4R36 movement you'll find across the Seiko 5 Sports line, so expect reliability, 24 joules, and around 41 hours of power reserve. The beige nylon strap isn't just for looks. It keeps the weight down and wears soft on the wrist. The case stays compact at 39.4mm across, which feels perfect for daily wear, and there's still a screw-down case back so you can peek at the movement in action. It doesn't have a rotating bezel or polished parts, and that's the point. At $295, it's made for folks who just want something that works, lasts, and still brings that Seiko mechanical charm. Now imagine strapping on a watch designed by one of the smoothest skaters to ever do it, Yuto Horigome. This limited edition piece blends street culture with old school flavour in a way that feels effortless. The brown dial has a faded gradient with embossed texture that adds subtle depth, while the falcon feather logo at 6 o'clock nods to Horigome's family crest. The hands are chunky, easy to spot, and coated with lumibrite. It even comes with a croc-textured strap for a vintage vibe that actually works. Around back there's a glass case back with the crest serial number and a bold limited edition mark. At 39.4mm across and just over 13mm thick, it wears tight and balanced. Inside you've got automatic movement and Seiko's dependable plus or minus 45 seconds a day precision. For around $470, it's a rare mix of style, story, and collectible charm. This is what happens when Seiko makes a statement: clean, bold, and just different enough to stand out. The SSK023 is a GMT model built for Seiko's 70th anniversary in Taiwan, and it doesn't hold back. You get a brushed silver steel case with a matching bracelet, but then the dial hits you with rich gold that reflects light like nothing else in this price range. The 42mm size wears surprisingly well, thanks to its smooth shape and well-balanced proportions. With a 13mm thickness, it sits firm without feeling chunky. Inside, the automatic GMT movement handles dual time zones, so it's perfect for travel or just adding that extra function to your daily lineup. It's water resistant to 100 meters, and since it's a limited edition, it brings collector value too. At just under $500, this one's a solid grab for something flashy but refined. This one, the SRPL33, is the second collab with HUF, pulling from a late 60s Seiko 5 Sports look and blending it with streetwear edge. The case is stainless steel, but it's the HUF green that really brings it to life, flashing through the transparent case back and marking the crown with the HUF logo. On the dial, the layout stays sharp and simple, with bold lume on the hands, bezel, and markers. It comes with a stainless bracelet and trifold clasp, and the price hits at $380. For something limited and full of character, that's pretty solid. Some watches look sharp out of the box, but this one feels like it's already part of your daily carry. The SRPK89 takes inspiration from the classic SNXS shape, but updates it for comfort and wear anywhere appeal. You've got a matte black dial with a bright orange seconds hand, giving it a nice contrast without getting loud. The hour and minute hands are faceted to catch light, and everything's backed with strong lumibrite, so you can read it at night. It runs the 4R36 automatic, with hand wind and hacking, plus a solid 41-hour power reserve. There's also magnetic resistance and 10-bar water protection. All of that comes in at around $385, which makes it a sweet deal if you're into everyday watches with throwback edge. And there you have it, the best Seiko 5 sports watches. So which one will you add to your collection? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more watch videos.